Last week my parents called me a worthless loser and said I was dead to them. Yesterday my mom posted a picture of my brother on Facebook, our golden boy. Pride of the family. Like I never existed. And today she says you owe us $2,000 for his prom. I said, after all this? Why the hell should I? And she, without us you're nothing. We gave you life and we can take it away. I laughed in her face and hung up the phone. That night I made a move they'll regret forever. Now the phone is ringing off the hook. Mom's having a breakdown. He can't take it without you. Come back, we beg you. I wasn't even planning to share this, but it's been stuck in my head all week, eating at me. And now I feel like I'm either going insane or everyone else's. I need to put it out there. Maybe someone can tell me if I'm overreacting or if this is as messed up as it feels. Fair warning, this is going to be long, kind of messy, and definitely emotional. I'm writing this on my phone and I'm still angry, so yeah, bear with me. It all started last Monday night. I was lying in bed scrolling when my cousin Bella randomly DM'd me on Instagram with a couple dumb memes like we do sometimes. But then, totally out of nowhere, she asks, "Hey, are you okay with everything going on at home?" I'm confused, obviously. What does she even mean? As far as I knew, things were the same old mess, nothing new. I figured maybe she texted the wrong person or got me mixed up with one of our other cousins. I mean, my family's big and messy. So I just replied with a question mark. She hits me back with a screenshot. It's from my mom's Facebook page. And when I say I stopped breathing for a second, I'm not exaggerating. It was a whole collage, a dozen photos, maybe more, all celebrating my younger brother, Nathan, in his graduation cap. Him holding his diploma, him hugging mom, him with relatives, even baby photos. The caption was this whole thing about how proud she was, how he's the light of our lives, our golden child, the future of this family. I don't even care that it was cheesy. What got me was that I wasn't in a single picture. Not one. Not even the throwback family group shots where I know I was standing right next to him. It was like someone had cropped me out of my own past. And it hit me harder than I expected. I've always known my mom played favorites with Nathan. That's not news. He's 2 years younger than me, straight-A student, star athlete, always says the right things. I've always been the one who questioned stuff, didn't want to go to church, changed majors in college, dropped out of law school, whatever. In their eyes, that made me difficult. But this was next level. I stared at that post for way too long. Just trying to figure out if I was overthinking it. Like, maybe she didn't mean to exclude me. Maybe it was just about him and not a statement about me. So I texted her, kind of joking, trying to keep it light. Dang, did I die or something? No reply. Left on read. And I'm not even surprised because that's just how she is now. She'll call me to fix the Wi-Fi or help her order something online, but the second I talk about how I'm doing, radio silence. Anyway, 5 minutes later, my phone starts buzzing with notifications, mostly from the family group chat. I go to open it and it's gone. Vanished from my list. Now, I know I didn't leave it. I'm not that dramatic. So I message my cousin Leo, different side of the family, and ask, "Hey, am I still in the group?" He goes, "Thought you dipped? You're not showing up anymore." So let's recap. In one night, I find out my mom posted this long love letter to my brother like he's the second coming. I get erased from every single photo. And then I'm quietly removed from the family group chat. Cool. Totally normal. Nothing to see here. At that point, I just sat there in this weird mix of shock and rage. Because suddenly it wasn't just an online thing. It felt like I was being deleted from my own family, like I'd become this inconvenience they were slowly phasing out. Some backstory, my family is obsessed with appearances. My mom in particular, she needs everything to look picture perfect on social media. You know the type. Always posting selfies with captions like "blessed beyond words" or "grateful heart" when 5 minutes before the photo she was probably screaming at someone in the kitchen. Nathan fits into her little vision perfectly. He's the safe one. Does what he's told. Doesn't ask questions. Gets praised like it's oxygen. Me? I've always been the one who doesn't fit the mold. I moved out early, changed jobs a few times, told my dad off during an argument last year when he said I was wasting my potential. Ever since then, it's been ice cold. Passive-aggressive texts. Conversations that feel like interrogations. And now, apparently, a digital erasure. What really pisses me off is the fakeness of it all. Like, if you hate me that much, just say it. Don't smile at me on Thanksgiving and then cut me out of the family photo album behind my back. I told my roommate Casey about it that night and he just stared at me like, "Dude, what the hell?" He doesn't even like drama, but even he said it was messed up. I wanted to let it go. Really. I didn't want to spiral or overreact. But the longer I sat with it, the more this heavy pit in my stomach turned into anger. Like actual, full-body, chest-tight anger. Because here's the thing, I've done so much for them. I helped my dad move 3 times. I babysat Nathan while mom was working double shifts. I gave them money, actual money, when dad lost his job last summer. I even co-signed for their utility account because their credit was too bad. And they still treat me like I'm disposable. So yeah, that night, lying in bed, I hit a point. You know the one when something just clicks. And you realize, no, actually, I'm not crazy. They really are doing this to me. I wasn't just mad anymore. I was done. I thought maybe after the whole invisible siblings situation I'd get some kind of explanation. A message, even a half-assed oops. But nope. Just silence. Then the next day, Tuesday, I got a call from my dad. Which was already weird. We barely talk unless someone's car won't start or there's a bill nobody knows how to pay. But he called mid-morning right as I was heading into work. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity got the better of me. Big mistake. The second I picked up, he just launched into it. No hello. No, how are you? Just straight up rage. Said I'd been acting like a stranger lately, that I don't care about the family, that I'm a selfish disappointment. At first, I was so caught off guard I didn't even say anything. I just stood in my kitchen holding my phone, like, is this really happening? He kept going. You've never lifted a finger to help us. You think you're too good for everyone. You don't contribute. You're dead weight. Dead weight. That's the phrase that stuck. I tried to speak up, tried to ask what exactly I'd done to deserve all this, but he just kept talking over me. Like I wasn't even a person, just a radio on mute. Then he dropped it. You're dead to me. Just like that. Said I shouldn't bother coming around anymore. That I'm not part of the family, and if I had any decency, I'd stop pretending I am. And then he hung up. Didn't even wait for me to say a word. I stood there for a good minute staring at the call screen like an idiot. My heart was pounding and I couldn't figure out whether I was about to cry or throw something. I didn't do either. Just shut down. Went numb. I sat back down, stared at the wall, and let everything hit me at once. It's not like I didn't know my relationship with my parents was strained. But hearing those words, you're dead to me, from my own father? That's something else. What made it worse is that I kept thinking about everything I have done for them. Every favor. Every ride. Every stupid tech issue I fixed. The time I stayed up all night on the phone helping my mom figure out how to use her new laptop. The money I lent them when the fridge broke, never saw that again, by the way. I wasn't perfect, sure. But I was there. More than they ever gave me credit for. And then, just as I'm still sitting in the aftershock of that phone call, my mom calls. Against my better judgment, I picked up. I shouldn't have. Because she didn't even acknowledge what just happened. No, sorry about your dad, no, can we talk? She jumped straight into business. She says she needs me to send $2,000 for Nathan's graduation party. Like it was a casual favor. Like nothing just happened. I was so stunned I literally laughed. Not a normal laugh, one of those "are you kidding me" laughs that just comes out when your brain breaks for a second. I asked her why the hell she thought I'd do that, especially after what Dad just said. And without missing a beat, she says, because without us you'd be nothing. We gave you everything. We gave you life. That part? That actually made me laugh harder. I said something like, cool, so now you think you can take it back? She didn't even flinch. She just kept going, guilt-tripping me, throwing around words like family loyalty and gratitude like she hadn't just cut me out of a family post and let Dad disown me. I hung up mid-sentence. And that's when she really lost it. I didn't even put the phone down before it started blowing up again, 5 missed calls in under 5 minutes, then a voicemail about how I'm ungrateful, how I'll regret this, how Nathan's party is not just about him, it's about us. I didn't listen to the whole thing. That night, I didn't sleep much. My brain kept playing everything on a loop. The phone call. The Facebook post. The way I'd always been the one who helped behind the scenes, only to get erased like I was never there. It started adding up, all the times I bailed them out, fixed what they broke, paid what they couldn't. And not once did I get a thank you. Not even a pat on the back. Just more expectations. More, what have you done for us lately? And I started thinking, if I've been so useless, such a disappointment, so dead to them, why do they keep needing me? And then it hit me. They need me more than I need them. I set up the utility accounts in my name because Mom's credit is garbage. I was the one who booked the venue for the graduation party because Dad's last overdraft left their account on hold. The deposit was made with my card. The storage unit with all the party supplies? I have the only working key. They can't throw this party without me. They want to act like I don't exist? Fine. Let's see how well they do without me holding the whole operation together. I'm not talking about revenge or anything dramatic. I'm not cutting their brake lines or hacking into anything. I'm just stepping back, removing myself from the equation, letting them feel what it's actually like to live in a world where I'm not on call to fix everything. And honestly, felt kind of good. For the first time in a long time, I wasn't just swallowing it. I wasn't doing what was expected, keeping the peace, being the reliable one. I was choosing myself. My friend Casey said I should have done it a long time ago. He's been through similar family stuff and told me straight up, they don't respect you because you never make them face the consequences. So I've started making a list, what's in my name, what they can't access without me. Not to be petty, but to protect myself. To finally set some damn boundaries. I'm not answering their calls. I'm not sending the money. I'm not letting them guilt trip me into saving them from the mess they made. They said I'm dead to them? Cool. Let's see what life looks like without your dead son making everything run. So after that whole disaster with my parents demanding money and basically exiling me in the same breath, I figured maybe I'd finally get a few days of peace. Just silence. No drama, no emotional blackmail, no Nathan this, Nathan that. But nah, it was like the second I hung up on my mom, she activated some emergency alert system. My phone lit up like it owed her money. Missed calls from unknown numbers. Messages from people I hadn't talked to in years. Even my cousin Bella and my friend Casey texted, asking, "Are you okay? What happened?" Apparently, my mom had gone full meltdown mode and dragged the entire extended family into it. And I mean entire. Aunts, uncles, cousins I haven't seen since middle school. Even random church friends of my parents started reaching out. People who don't even have my number but somehow found it. It was like being the villain in a movie I didn't agree to be in. At first, I ignored most of it. But then Nathan texted me, for the first time in probably 6 months, and not even a hey or, can we talk? Just, you're ruining everything. It's not that hard to send the money. Like I'm an ATM with no PIN required. That's always been his style, though. Nathan never asks me for anything directly. He lets mom do the dirty work, and then when I don't play along, he acts like I'm the problem. Like I'm just being difficult for the sake of it. What made it worse was when my Aunt Miranda joined in. She's always been that person. The one who loves to talk about family values, but never actually listens to anyone. She sent me this long message about how I'm tearing the family apart, how I should think about what I'm doing to my poor mother, how Nathan deserves his big day. I replied once, just asked, "Do you even know what happened?" And she left me on read. Then blocked me. So that's where we were. They erased me. Then they needed me. Then they tried to guilt me into pretending none of it happened. And I started to realize something. This wasn't new. This was just the biggest, loudest version of what had always been there. My whole life I'd been the fixer, the one who came through when everything went to hell. I drove Dad to appointments when he lost his license. I helped Miranda's daughter with college apps. I paid their electric bill once when it got cut off. I did all of it quietly because that's what you do for family, right? Except apparently family doesn't do it back. The more I thought about it, the clearer it got. They only care about me when I'm useful. And now that I'm not cooperating, they don't know what to do. So I decided to make it real. I logged into the account I used to reserve the venue for Nathan's graduation party. The one they begged me to set up because mom's credit was too low. The final payment was still pending. They had a few days left to lock in the date. And guess what? Only I can approve it. I sat there staring at the screen for a bit, then closed it without doing anything. I didn't cancel it. I didn't confirm it. I just let it sit, quiet, ticking. The next day, I got an email from the venue manager, super polite, asking if I planned to go ahead with the booking. I replied, still finalizing things with the family. She said she'd been trying to reach my mom too, but hadn't gotten a clear answer. No surprise there. Then came the storage unit. I hold the only working key. Mom and Dad lost theirs months ago and never bothered to get a replacement because, I was always around to handle it. The unit has everything. Old decorations, boxes of photos, supplies they were planning to use for the party. I went online and changed the code. Not because I wanted revenge, I just didn't want them raiding it behind my back. If I'm dead to them, cool. Dead people don't open storage units. By Thursday, the group chat, which I was still banned from, by the way, was apparently on fire. Bella sent me screenshots, guilt trips, vague threats, mom posting weird quotes about betrayal from within on Facebook, friends of hers commenting with praying hands emojis and stay strong, queen. I rolled my eyes so hard I nearly gave myself a migraine. Dad tried calling again. I let it ring out. He left a voicemail about how I'm embarrassing the family and ruining Nathan's future. Like a party was the deciding factor in whether my brother gets into college or not. Then, and this is the part one still can't believe, Nathan showed up at my apartment. He never comes by. Ever. I heard the buzzer go off 3 times in a row. Aggressive. I knew it was him before I even checked. I buzzed him up, but I kept the chain on the door. He stood there with his arms crossed, staring at me like I was something stuck to the bottom of his shoe. "You're really gonna do this?" he asked, voice all tight like he was holding something back. I told him, "You and Mom made it pretty clear I don't matter. So why should I help?" He didn't answer right away, just looked at the floor. Then said, "You're making us look bad. Everyone's gonna talk." I shrugged. "Should have thought about that before you cut me out of everything." He tried to push the door open. I pushed back, calm but firm. "Don't do that," I said. "Not today." He called me an asshole. I said, "Cool. Add it to the list." Then closed the door in his face. I watched from the window as he paced around in the parking lot, clearly on the phone, probably with Mom. It was weird seeing him actually have to deal with something. He's not used to that. Later that evening, I drove by the storage unit just to check. And sure enough, Mom and Dad were there, trying every old code they could think of. They were arguing. Dad looked exhausted. Mom was near tears. Dad walked over when he saw me. Tried to smile like nothing happened. "Just let us in," he said. "We need the decorations. We'll talk later." I looked him dead in the eye. "You said I was dead to you," I said. "Dead people don't plan parties." Mom slammed her hand against the unit and yelled that I was selfish. That I was ruining everything. That I was destroying our reputation. I told her, "You made your choice." She stormed off, slammed the car door, and sat inside while Dad kept trying to play the peacekeeper. I got in my car and drove away. Even Bella texted me again that night, asking if I could just be the bigger person. She meant well, but I told her what I was finally starting to believe. I'm tired of always being the one who has to be bigger. I honestly didn't expect it all to fall apart so fast. After I pushed Nathan out of my doorway and told my dad at the storage unit to remember I was dead to them, I figured they'd simmer in silence for a few days. Maybe regroup. Maybe even try to guilt-trip me with some new passive-aggressive strategy. Nope. They went into full crisis mode by the next morning. It started with the venue again. I got a reminder email, final payment deadline was that day by 6 p.m. Otherwise, the date would be released and the deposit forfeited. I was still the only one authorized to approve the payment. I didn't respond. 10 minutes later, I got a call from the venue manager. Super professional, trying to stay neutral, but I could hear the stress in her voice. Apparently, my mom had been calling nonstop, demanding they push the payment deadline back or let someone else handle it. They told her, politely but firmly, that I was the only person on the agreement. If I didn't pay, the party was off. I told the manager, "Appreciate the call. I won't be moving forward with the booking." She paused, then thanked me for the clarity and said she'd make a note. Click. About an hour later, the guilt parade started. My mom texted me what had to be a novella-length message about how I was punishing Nathan for her mistakes. How I was hurting the whole family. How I'd regret this when I was older and alone. I didn't answer. So she called. I didn't pick up. Then she left 3 voicemails in a row, the last one with her voice cracking like she'd been crying for hours. Then came my dad. His text said, "You've made your point. Be a man and fix what you broke. Right? Because I'm the one who broke it." Later that day, Nathan called. Again. This time he didn't yell. He didn't even sound mad. Just tired. He said, "I get that you're pissed, but you're making it worse for everyone." I asked him, "Did you say anything when they erased me? Did you stand up when Dad said I was dead to him? When they deleted me from the family group chat?" He didn't answer right away. Finally, he said, "I don't know what you want from me." I said, "Honestly? Nothing." He hung up. That was it. No yelling. No guilt-tripping. Just silence. And weirdly, that hit harder than all the other crap. Because I think that was the moment I realized I actually followed through. I wasn't just threatening to walk away. I did it. And they didn't know what to do. I spent the rest of the night doing what I probably should have done a long time ago. I logged into every account that had my name tied to anything storage, utilities, venue, and locked them down. Changed passwords. Disabled auto payments. Canceled authorizations. I even emailed the venue with an official cancellation notice just in case Mom tried anything shady. Told them, I'm no longer involved. Any further contact should be redirected to a new booking under a different name. 2 hours later, the venue manager emailed back to say my mom had already tried to rebook using a cousin's name. The deposit was non-refundable and they'd need a brand new agreement with a new credit card. Guess who didn't have one? The family group chat, the one I was kicked out of, exploded. Bella sent me screenshots. Mom was having a full breakdown in text form. Dad kept talking about how humiliated they were. A few cousins jumped in on their side. Some didn't. Apparently, Mom even tried going to the storage unit herself. Called the police when she couldn't get in. The police. They told her it was a civil issue and if the lease wasn't in her name, there was nothing they could do. She left crying. I shouldn't laugh, but I did. Nathan texted again asking if he could at least get his boxes out of the unit. I told him, sure. Next week. Bring your ID. Come alone. He said thanks. That was as close to an apology as I'd probably ever get from him. Meanwhile, the Facebook drama got louder. Mom posted a long status about losing a child to bitterness and pride. People were commenting like it was a Lifetime movie. He'll come around. Family is forever. Praying for you, girl. I muted her. I wasn't angry anymore, not exactly. Just exhausted. Tired of being made the villain in a story I never asked to be part of. Tired of being everyone's backup plan until I finally said no. The next morning, the party date passed. No payment. Venue released the booking. Party canceled. I got one final text from my dad. You win. Hope it was worth it. What does that even mean? It's not a game. It was never about winning. It was about being seen. About not being treated like a spare tire they only remember when they've got a flat. I walked down the street to get coffee that morning. Put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Sat in the sun with my earbuds in. It was quiet. So quiet. No more calls. No more frantic texts. No more pretending everything's fine just to keep the family from looking bad. And for the first time in a while, I felt okay. Not good. Not vindicated. Just okay. Like I could breathe. I know people are going to say I went too far. That I should have just paid for the party, kept the peace, been the bigger person. But I've been the bigger person my entire life. And where did it get me? Forgotten in photos. Cut out of conversations. Dead to my own dad. This wasn't revenge. It was a boundary. A long overdue one. I know the fallout isn't over. Nathan's supposed to stop by this week to pick up his stuff from storage. I'm not expecting any big dramatic confrontation. Just want to hand him the boxes and move on. I don't know what happens next. Maybe things cool off. Maybe they don't. I'm not hoping for reconciliation. I'm not even sure I want it anymore. All I know is they needed me more than I ever needed them. And now? Now they know it too.